basically this is the team I'm going to be using for the rest of this video. As you can see, it's a fairly standard balance team with a Hoopa thrown in there. It's more of a physical attacker with Focus Blast just to nail any steel types and any physical walls. Darkanium Z just to do as much damage as it can before it leaves, and it doesn't have any other abilities apart from Magician. This is my low pony on the team. All it does is basically pivot, high jump kick for good damage, and acts as speed control because it's very fast. Then this is my Volcarona. All it does is it takes a hit and then it can kill something because it has Focus Sash and Swarm. So Bug Buzz, I can get free Quiver Dance, Bug Buzz, and kill something. Her overheat's the same thing. It lets me get one good hit off. Then this is the Rotom Wash. It's speed control as well, just like that. But it's also pivoting, just like this again. Lets me do a Volt turn cycle, and it's just general control. I can trick walls and I can pain split for recovery. Then this is my King Gambit. This is the sweeper at the end, and it also is speed control because of the priority. It gets Swords Dance, Iron Head, and Substitute just to set up if anything passive comes in, like an Alola with Scald. And finally, I got my physical wall, which is Moltres, because this is more for special hits, my Rotom, while my Moltres is for physical hits. It gets Fire Blast just to do a big chunk of damage instead of like Flame Flare or Will-O-Wisp, because they don't really do enough damage. Fire Blast can get some big hits in, because this is more of disposable, because it's not really a balanced team. Because I'm planning to kill this as soon as possible. Take down the Rocker, and then it can sack this for something. So the general plan is to send this in, deal some good damage, which will let either of these sweep. This for just dealing consistent damage, this for, setting up, and same thing for Volcarona. And that's the general game plan. I don't have any rockers on my own side, because this might be controversial, but I don't really like hazard users. I don't really use Stealth Rock all too much in my teams. But yeah, we'll see how this team checks out.
What do we have?
Crippling depression.
No, for dinner.
Tacos.
Basically, I'm just going to be showing this video of me. I have a fairly balanced team, and they have a more bulky balanced team, as you can see by the Alola, which is just going to be a Wish Passer, and it is a real pain. So I switch in this first, and I just get a free Hydro Pump, so that's a free 26%. Thank you, Latios. I'd switch. That's Scarf, by the way, which is why I don't Volt Switch. But I switch it to this, and yeah, Mystical Fire, that takes a chunk. I didn't know Latios even had that, or Latios. Great Task, I switch in Moltres, and they're gonna go for rocks, so I hit them with a cheeky Fire Blast, which, yeah, just look at that. So, Alola Defog, so that makes it easier for my Volcarona to switch in if it needs to. Immune to Toxic, so that's just a free switch. Free Chip Heal, but it's not really going to do much. So, they flip turn, and I get this, and since it's Choice Scarf, it lets me set the pace really well. But I still think this is faster, because I think this is also Scarfed. So, yeah. I think it is because I switched instead of using U-turn. So I just use U-turn there now. I switch in Hoopa, and I sub just in case it's toxic because I already saw that he had that. And then Focus Blast. The reason I clicked that, even though it was bad accuracy and I don't get stab, is because the Alola is usually they boost physical. So I was like, maybe I'll risk it. So that hits me. If I missed this, I would have been raging. But yeah, I kneel them. They're switching to Alola, and since I went 4%, nothing else really to do. I just used my Z move. And it would have hit them all fairly well, even Babalella. So this is where I finally get to wreck the barrier with Hyperspace Fury, which is like the one time I've ever done that, by the way. Because, who even uses Hyperspace Fury? Or Protect, sorry. So, yeah, they forfeited after that, which is, yeah. I don't blame them, because I'm like 200 points lower than them, and I still managed to beat these two, basically, because the poor guy didn't know what Hyperspace Fury did, so he basically just sacked that. But, it was a decent game. I think they've done well enough. This is my other battle, and as you can see, it's against another balanced team, but I think this one is more offensive because it's the Charizard, which is usually the Mega Y one, which is pretty strong. They have Raging Bolt, which is really bad for my team to handle because I have no ground types and no steel type apart from King Gambit, but if that gets taken down, then it punches a hole through my strategy for the rest of the game, really. So my only option is to take this thing out as soon as it gets in the field. And Terrapo Goose isn't really that good of a matchup either, apart from my loop on it. So I need to keep that alive for that. So as you can see, I lead with the loop on it just to get out there and get its mega started. So obviously I hit the fake out and then I U-turn on this because I don't want to sack it. And Moltres is an obvious switch because it resists all of its attacks basically. Unless it's Stone Edge or something, but they usually don't. Now, they switch in Landorus, and I do a pretty good play here. It's obviously going to use a rock type attack against the Moltres, so I switch in my Lopunny, which is a fighting type now, so it resists it, which is a pretty good play, I want to say. But it survives in 1 HP, but what can you do? It's a gamble. So I U-turn, and I switch in Moltres. Or not Moltres, sorry, Hoopa. I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure Moltres would have been the better choice, but I get Moltres stuck in there, and it hits me with an overheat, which is pretty bad. That does a lot, and it tries to get the flinch. And if if he got the flinch, I would have lost. So luckily, I power through that, get a roost, and then it switches in this, and I can get a defog off, which helps my Volcarona switch in and takes a lot of pressure off the Rotom. So I hit that with a Fire Blast that deals a good chunk, especially because it's a resist. So switching Rotom, that deals a lot. So there's nothing really I can do apart from switch out, because this would kill it. So I switch out, and I chuck back in Moltres, and it paralyzes that, which is really unfortunate, in case I can't get a wrist off or something. So I hit a U-turn though, because I had a feeling it was going to switch, and I send out Hoopa, and I have to get it out immediately, so I have to waste my Z move on it. But it takes care of that. I didn't want to risk it up to the gamble of a Hyperspace Fury, because if it lived, I would have lost basically. But no, I would thought this would have tanked the Weather Ball, but it doesn't apparently. So I have to switch in my Volcarona, which gets brought down really low. And I go for the Quiver Dance to get a powered up overheat against this. So that deals a good chunk and lets my Volcarona, not my Volcarona, my Lopunny one shot it once it comes in. So I bring it on obviously to revenge kill it. But they switch and I hit them with a fake out. And then a U-turn to get out of there because I'm not dealing with that. Or no, apparently I just switch, apparently. Bit weird for me, but what can you do? That deals a lot, but this is Fire Blast, and I have a little bit invested in special attacks, so that takes care of that. And I just sag this. It's not really doing much anymore. Except it would have helped against that, but it would probably just use a different move, and I wouldn't be able to heal it up. So I used Player Off instead of Fake Out or anything, because I thought they would send out Great Tusk and it would cover all of them. It would take that down, get rid of that shield, and kill that anyway. So U-turn, Bracket Shell, and send out Hoopa. I actually thought Hoopa would die here, but no, it tanks the hit, and I can get a crit off, which is pretty good. But yeah, the Hoopa dies. So I can switch in my Lopunny again, and I go for the Fake Out to revenge kill it. Now, I have to U-turn, because a player off isn't killing that, it's too physically bulky. And this survives on like 1 hit point, let's say. Yeah, 0 point, that's basically 1 health. And I can get a Sucker Punch off, and that brings it down low enough. I think my Fake Out would have, I don't think it would have killed actually. So that's good. It would have killed after the defense drop maybe, but the luck definitely helped. And then I go for a U-turn because it's perfect accuracy. So if I used high jump kick or flare off and missed, I would have freaked out. But no, that was decent. They had a fairly good team, but I managed to control the pace of the match fairly well. Apart from that stupid play where I switched in this. I switched in my Moltres instead of U-turning, which I don't know, maybe I thought it had Rocky Helmet or something, even though it clearly doesn't, because I hit it earlier with Fake Out and whatever. But yeah, it was a pretty good match all around, all things considered.